You always hear about AI, cars, plastic pollution, and how they're ruining the earth. But one thing is always forgotten: fast fashion. It's the thing that's silently killing our planet, and people rarely ever talk about it. So, what even is fast fashion? What is it causing? And why should we care? So, let's rewind and go back to where it all started.
Back in the day, people had to make their own clothes out of wool and leather. But with the Industrial Revolution and sewing machines becoming widely available, clothes started to get mass-produced. And then later in the 70s, people are like, well, now that I got all this clothes, how about I start expressing myself with it? And in the 80s and in the 90s, it kept growing. People kept buying more clothes. It became more widely accessible. Companies and manufacturers just started pumping out clothes. And now it's gotten to the point where you can buy a shirt off of Shein for $1.
And you might be thinking to yourself, well, what's wrong with just getting some cheap clothes, saving myself some money? And that's the issue. You just see the cheap price tag, but none of the other hidden costs that come with it. The first thing we have is
Water. Everyone is always worried about AI and how it's using so much water, but the fast fashion always seems to slide under everyone's noses. According to Fair Planet, fabric dyeing and treatment practices generate about 20% of the world's wastewater. For example, one pair of jeans uses 2,000 gallons of water. That is 2,000 gallons of wastewater per pair of jeans. And think about how many jeans we just see when we're just walking around in stores, or the ones you might even have on right now. Also, with the amount of clothing that's being produced so quickly, it leads to a lot more waste than just water. According to earth.org, the average American now generates 82 pounds of textile waste each year. But what if I donate my clothes to some place like this? Won't it be put to good use?
no. According to Green America, 62.5% of your donated clothes are sent to a landfill anyway. And the reason that percentage is so high is because people buy more and more clothes and donate more and more clothes. So what happens? People don't buy as much from the Goodwill or wherever you thrift at, and it just ends up in the exact place you're trying to avoid.
And who might be contributing to all this waste? It's you.
Me?
Yes, you and me. We all have to throw away clothes at some point, but one thing that we can control is how much we buy. Modern day social media promotes so much overconsumption.
Influencers are always promoting new clothes, new styles, and new outfits to you. And you're like, well, I want to be cool like that influencer, so let me hop on the trend. So now you're buying all this stuff off TikTok Shop, all these clothes that are terrible quality, and you wear them once and gone. You don't want it anymore because the quality is just that bad. And then Goodwill isn't even putting it out for sale because no one wants to buy a shirt that's made of 100% polyester.
Now you might be thinking, how do I know you use TikTok Shop? Well, it's because we did a survey. About 40 students responded from our high school. 44% said that they bought from TikTok Shop, and about 50% said they bought from Shein. So I mean, there's a greater chance that you haven't bought from TikTok Shop or Shein, but like still, that's a lot of people that bought from TikTok Shop and Shein. Also, with this survey, 69% said they've bought from H&M. H&M is like the head of fast fashion. If you just go onto Google and look up fast fashion, I guarantee you'll see H&M, 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 H&M. It is just pure H&M. They are the head of it all, and that's why we went and infiltrated their facility. Now, what did we find? Nothing. There was nothing. We looked at their clothes, and we like a lot of stuff was made in Bangladesh and Vietnam, but I don't really know why we went there, to be honest.
And although there are lots of bad that comes with fast fashion, there are still a few benefits. For say, it allows people to get a lot more clothes that they need. Instead of having to pay $100 to $200 for a winter jacket, you can pay closer to about $20. Also, it provides lots of jobs for people. Without these factories, they would go jobless and not be able to support themselves or their families. In order for the clothes to be this cheap, costs have to be cut somewhere. And most of the time, it's either from the worker's wage or the working conditions or both. People are crammed into factories, working 12-hour shifts every single day, sometimes without even days off in a month. Unfortunately, many people have fallen victim to this. For example,
In 2013, Rana Plaza, a large clothing factory located in Bangladesh, collapsed, killing 1,100 workers while injuring 2,600 more.
And this tragedy can be attributed to the lack of care and regulations in these places where cheap garments are made. And sadly, this is not the only time something like this has happened. There are many other cases in which people are exploited and forced to work in unsafe conditions, resulting in tragedy.
So, what can we do about this? What can an average, everyday, normal human teenager do about this problem? Well, that's why we brought in an expert. Introduce Owen. Owen, this guy knows everything about fast fashion. His job, which we'll get into later, is literally going to Goodwill and other thrifting places, and he finds clothes that people would probably like, and he resells them online. We interviewed Owen because he knows a lot about the topic of fast fashion and thrifting. I mean, he literally goes thrifting every single day.
So, Owen, what pushed you to want to thrift and resell clothes online?
It really started when my dad gave me some of his old shirts. And I'm just like, man, these are so much better than like some of the other stuff I was buying. So I started to go to Goodwill and stuff looking for old shirts, and then from there I figured I might as well sell the shirts that I don't like.
So, how is thrifting different from buying clothes at places like H&M or
So the thing about H&M is, say before school, like it's the first day of school, you go to the school, you're wearing an H&M shirt. You go and you see there's 80 other people wearing that same Red Hot Chili Peppers H&M shirt. And whereas if you go to school and you're wearing a cool, unique vintage shirt, there's nobody else gonna ever be wearing that within 100-mile radius, probably.
Bro, he is not lying. Look at this REM shirt he got. He thrifted this from like Goodwill or something. He said this is his favorite shirt, and I can see why. I mean, no one else has a shirt like this. Come on now.
So it's way more unique, and it's like better than buying from the giant corporations.
Okay. How do you think fast fashion has like affected fashion overall? Like a bunch of people have access to all these different types of like vintage type clothing, like you said.
I think it's made trends go way faster, and that's not a good thing, and it makes clothes getting thrown out faster, and quality just getting worse. It's all bad for everything.
After this interview with Owen, we went to Goodwill with him to see how he shops.
There's not a lot to show you here. We just kind of walked around, looked at some clothes, but there wasn't really anything eye catching, so we didn't end up buying anything.
You don't have to be perfect, but you can be more aware. Buy less, rewear your clothes, and go thrifting.
Because if we lower the demand, we lower the damage. We can make the change.